Welcome, Brandon Hayes here. I'm here with a good friend of mine, Riley Ritten. Riley, how are you?
Was good. I still got the crust in my eyes, but disregard that. I'm cooler.
All right, well, man, I appreciate you coming. Let me just get this out of the way real quick. Follow Riley Ritten on Instagram at Riley Ritten. Go to Riley's YouTube page, Riley Ritten's, for all OnlyFans review, and listen to Riley's new song, OnlyFans, featuring, was it Geno Fire? Geno Fire?
Geno 5. Geno
You know,
5. Shout out
5.
to
All
him.
right, I apologize. Now, I want to start off by asking you a concrete question. What are your thoughts
Mhm.
on celebrities doing OnlyFans? At first, I didn't think it was a big deal, get your money however you want it. But then I started reading some of the comments, and people were really upset about it. And what's that girl's? I think Bella Thorne. I don't know her, but I know she like pretty much broke it down, and people are jealous about it. And I need your input on it because I know you're dedicated to this craft. What do you think about celebrities going into it?
They playing with it. They fucking it up for people that are actually taking it seriously. They fucking it up for people that are actually building up their fan base. They fucking up for people that actually have good content. Like people going into this, men specifically, are already, leery about getting ripped off. So when they go to like the celebrities and shit, and they already confirms their suspicions, then they get turned off. Not only do they get turned off, they put other niggas on to where they get turned off. And first off, they should have known better. Any known celebrity that's doing it, you should know it's a pump faker. You're not gonna get nothing more that you can't Google. First of all, and furthermore, they're fucking it up for, like I said earlier, for the content creators because the OnlyFans rules has changed because of that Bella Thorne shit. They went from getting paid weekly to now monthly because a whole bunch of other people started asking for their money back when she did that pump fake with that what $100 $200 nude. Now they can't go no. Now the subscriptions can't go no further than what 50, and some of the pay-per-view whatever the fuck can't go no more than 100. She fucked it up for a lot of them. They don't even get paid. They get paid monthly now. She fucked it up a lot. She fucked it up for a lot of them. So that's what I'm saying. These celebrities is going in there on some part-time, let me have fun with it type shit. Meanwhile, and going in on the deceptive front too. Like communicate with your fans. Let them know what they're getting into when they get into it. Yo, if it's gonna be nudity, rated X, all that type of shit. So yeah, they're playing with it. I don't
Would
like that shit.
you would you review a celebrity that does, like, say if Holly Berry does it tomorrow and she costs like $100? You'll review that, right?
Nope.
Really?
No. You just said it. $100. Hell no.
So you have a limit of what you spend.
I'm no different than the average man. Like if the average man isn't spending $100, why? Like if I'm not gonna spend $100, what makes you think the average man is? Like if they got the bread for it, more power to them. But the average man don't have $100 a month to be spending on like that. Not when we got other responsibilities and shit. Like this is like a luxury and shit. So to spend $100 to see, I don't care if it was Holly Berry, I don't care if it was whoever the fuck. No,
Okay.
no.
All right.
I,
So you're originally from New York. You're from Brooklyn,
yep,
right? Now
yep.
describe that whole New York vibe growing up.
The Mecca, man. I still think of it as a Mecca, despite the transplants fucking it up, despite greedy people fucking it up. I grew up in the Mecca, man. I'm an 86 baby. I grew up through, the East Coast versus West Coast beef. I grew up through, Jay-Z. I grew up through the Jay-Z and Nas wars. I grew up through all of that. I'm the same person that used to go all the way to fucking Jamaica, Queens, just to get a mixtape, whether it was a beat tape or a mixtape. I went all the way through there. Like it was real. It was real for me. And so I could have been born in any other place, but the fact that I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that to this day. And I still frequent over there despite, the changes. So being able to say I'm from Brooklyn, I'm proud of it. Not too many people can say that. And furthermore, you can tell by going there who's really from over there and who's really, a tourist and shit. So for me be able to wear that on me like that, it's an honor. It's an
I
honor.
love that when you were describing, you said born in '86. I love when you're describing New York, you strictly talked about music. You said the West Coast, East Coast, Nas, Jay-Z, you had to go miles to pick up a mixtape. By witnessing all that and listening to the music, was that your inspiration to go into music?
Partially. One of my family, I mean, I have a few of my family members, they rap. One of them was in a group called Pitch Black. I don't really put it out there like that. Um, Partially that, and just being surrounded by all that. I didn't know it would influence me to where I would like have my own little output in my own way and then fully go into music. So for for me, yeah, so yeah, New York plays a big part of that. Plays a big part of that. Hip hop music plays a big part of that. Um, yeah, yeah, it does.
Did you recently started to go back into music this year? Or was it, you're taking your time releasing these singles every year? Talk to me about your releasing music.
Oh no, I never stopped. I never stopped as far as the music. I may not have been as frequent as I like to, but I never stopped doing music at all. Since my first project, which is on my Bandcamp, um, I never stopped releasing music. As a matter of fact, I was like gearing up for my project to come out this year, October 12th specifically. It's called the 12th. Taking my I was just taking my time. I was just taking my time learning, you know, the releases and all that other shit because normally you put out like as a novice or sort of novice minded, you put out projects thinking people are gonna listen to it and no, and then stardom happens. Like when it's much more to that, you gotta release audio. You gotta figure out your rollout. You gotta get people to like get acquainted with you because it's hard for people to listen to you when they don't really know you. So it's like you're at the bottom shelf. You got to make sure you get their music eye level, and everybody's aspiring to do that. The question is, why should they listen to you? Type deal. Why should they listen to me? So, and with this OnlyFans reviews coming in, now people are like sort of getting to know me, and so with this project, I want people to like really get to know me, but on my terms, type shit. So.
Sometimes, do you feel a little disappointed that people know you a little bit more for OnlyFans than your music? Or you feel like, listen, the music speak volume. The music, you're gonna know my personality from the music. You're not gonna know my personality from the OnlyFans because that's entertainment. That's whatever. I'm just trying to help people out, to buy which one. But the music is really me. Do you feel like the OnlyFans overshadow the music?
A couple months into it, a couple months into it, I started feeling like that. A couple months into it, that's when I started feeling like that. And what confirmed it for me is when I started posting my single. That's when I noticed like the following dipped down a little bit, or people wouldn't interact with the music as much as they would with the OnlyFans review content. That was telling me, all right, nigga, we're not here for the music. We don't give a fuck about it. We don't give a fuck about your pipe dreams. You niggas always do this. Yeah, drop your content and then try to sell us on your fucking SoundCloud dreams, nigga. Just drop more of your content. That's what we're here for. And it's like, a nigga's not gonna tell me how to speak in my own damn house, and a nigga's not gonna tell me what to post, what portrait to post in my own house neither. Originally, I started for music. You're gonna get to know me through this too. I'm sorry.
No.
All right, we go. All right. So you're getting to know me through this. You're getting this content, but you're gonna get this music too. And if you're not feeling it, like, hey, there's other people that want to get to know it. So I felt a way about it in the beginning, but now it's like, this is the perfect opportunity. This is the perfect opportunity. So I'm grateful for the OnlyFans content for doing that, because now it brings more eyes to it. Before then, people will look past it. People didn't give a fuck about it. Now there's more eyes on it, and it's like, oh shit. People that I didn't expect to pay attention to that paid attention to it. So that's something. I can never shit on doing the OnlyFans for that. I can never shit on me doing the OnlyFans review for that. But at times, yeah, I felt like that.
The song OnlyFans is similar to a lot of your other songs, and what I mean by that, it's a real smooth and laid back song. My question is, how come that isn't the intro when you do your OnlyFans review, your song? Did you ever think about that?
I started, as soon as I dropped the single, I started putting the instrumental in the background.
Okay. Why not the whole song? Because it's really a good song. I'm not just saying that because I'm talking. It's really a good song. Why can't the like at least like 45 seconds, 30 seconds of the whole song play out right before you do the OnlyFans review?
You know what? I never thought about that. I never thought about that to the extent. I just figured to like let the music play in the background so people would inquire, and it has worked. A few people have inquired about it.
I bet it works.
Like, yo, like, you got music playing in your background now? What is that? I'm like, oh, funny you should ask. This is the single. This is the single. It is available here, and here.
Yeah.
So it has worked. But now that you said that, it's interesting. And plus, I really want to do a visual. I really want to do a visual for it sometime soon. And the funny shit is, the OnlyFans review taking off changed my single. Mm-hmm. Before that, it was going to be something different. But because the OnlyFans review like popped off the way that it did, me and my engineer discussed it. It's like, damn. He's like, yo, you got to change the single now. I'm like, really? I'm like, it doesn't make sense for you to put that out when you have this and you titled it OnlyFans. Like, drop that, nigga. And fun fact, and I was gonna save it for the album content, but fun fact, the song was originally the song was really something else. First of all,
okay,
it was titled something else, and the sound was something else, But due to me not being able to reach the producers, I couldn't reach 2 producers. So the third one I was able to like get a hold of. His name is Offbeat Ninja, shout out to him. And the original song was called Chella's Way. But if you were on Instagram and you saw how that played out, then you will understand why I changed it. So yeah.
For the visual of the OnlyFans songs, would you have some of the girls that you review in the video? Do you think that's too much trouble?
I'm thinking about that too. That would be more convenient, especially in the COVID times. That would be bomb. Like, I would need to know how to like, what's the word? I would need to know how to like plan that. Mm-hmm. I would need to know how to plan. I would need the treatment. That's the word I was looking for. Okay. I would need to figure out the treatment for that. But yeah, I can see that.
Okay, and like I said before, the OnlyFans song, I compare it to some of your other songs. It's laid back and it's smooth. Some of the other songs I really enjoy is Fifth Flow, and Talking to Myself. A lot of rappers, they hate when you compare them to other rappers. A lot of rappers are like, listen, I'm gonna stay in my own lane. This is that, blah, blah, blah. But they're like, for real, that's what I see. But when I listen to those songs, it reminds me of that Renaissance time of ASAP Mob, Flatbush Zombies, Joey Badass. It reminds me of that. is that your goal when you make this music? Do you kind of look at, because it's really a New York sound, do you look at the other New York sounds and say, okay, this is what I'm gonna do?
Honestly, I haven't really been paying attention to those sounds like that. Like this isn't to say I haven't listened to ASAP Rocky or Joey Badass and all the other stuff. This isn't to say that I haven't heard their music, but whenever I do my music, I don't have any of them in mind. No disrespect, but they would agree with that too if you would ever speak to them. I don't have any of them in mind. I just have me in mind, and I just have what I heard when I'm vibing with in mind, really. So, and just like the other rappers, I I don't like being compared to too, but at this point, it's like it is what it is. So to be in that pack, I'm like, that's not bad. As long as they recognize me and not me trying to sound like a knockoff, which I'm pretty sure everyone is getting, like people that's listening are getting that by now. I'm not trying to sound like anyone else but myself, but to be amongst that pack, it's an interesting pack to be amongst. So yeah.
So in a sense, let me just get this right, because I talk to other rappers, and they like, listen, before I write a song, sometimes I'll have different music playing in the background so I can research them. And it's kind of same with like a stand-up comedian. If a guy's going into stand-up, he's like, listen, I watch Jerry Seinfeld and Kevin Hart just to like pick up some notes. So when you make music, it's just you. You don't want to listen to anyone else. It's just you and your thoughts.
Pretty much.
How long
And whatever instrumental I'm surfing through on YouTube.
How long does it take to write a song? Are some songs it takes a lot longer, or some songs it just kind of clicks and you can do it, knock it out in a couple hours?
Both of them, honestly.
How long did
Both
it
of them.
take the OnlyFans song to do?
Uh, I've written various versions of them to like tailor a specific sound. Like I don't like it really depends. Like if it really doesn't fit a specific sound, then I'll just reserve that for something else and write something new. And sometimes it can be under an hour. Sometimes it could be over an hour. But majority of my writing takes place at night. Like I'm more of a high functioning writer at night than I am any other time. Like I can do it any other time. It's just more likely I'm gonna do something at night.
See, that's so funny because I'm the total opposite. If I'm working on something, I would like to do it in the morning, and then maybe at night I'll go through it a little bit, just to make sure that it's good. But so when at night you write your music, you do everything, and then do you record it at night or do you just wait for the next day?
I wait till whenever my engineers are available to record it. But in the meantime, and that's what I'm starting to do. In the meantime, I go over it like flow and editing and stuff like that. Like if it needs to be edited or the flow patterns and just to get it down pat as much as I possibly can. So this way, when I record it, it's natural sounding and not. You can tell the difference to when it's natural sound between when somebody does it, it's natural sounding.
Yeah.
When somebody like half-ass did it, you can tell like when they're reading or something.
Yeah.
I wanted to come off as less as that as possible and at least natural sounding, like even if my flow is off pattern a little bit, it's because it's kind of intended that way. So
And let me tell you, my favorite song by you. Your flow is incredible in this. It's Luxury Arts. Such a slick and polished beat. The features on there are fantastic too. It's forgive me if I'm horrible with names. Lizananis,
Lizonius,
Lizonius, and Letitia, right? They're terrific. Who starts
Latasha.
Latasha?
Shout out both of them, especially Latasha.
Yeah, they're fantastic. Shout out to both of them. Who starts off the song? Because whoever starts off the song, great vocals, great, fantastic. Do you remember?
if it's the person that's singing, that's Lazonius. If it's the one that's rapping, then if that's the one that's rapping on the first verse, then that's Latasha. Me and her knew each other for a little bit. Like we're kind of acquaintance now. So, but me and her knew each other for a little bit. We built a rapport before, and I just she by then she was already familiar with my music. She was already familiar with my rapping. So I just figured to hit her up, and I'm like, yo, like, you want to jump on this? Like, I just sent her the beat. I just sent her the beat, and I already had my features done. I think I already had my features done, I think, around that time. And I just sent it to her. And she heard it, she fucked with it, and she just went off. Honestly, to this day, I will say that to this day, she outdusted me, or she dusted me on that shit. To me, because I felt a little winded when I got to my shit, because I was like, yo, okay, my part is here. So I need to come off a specific way. So I'm like, yo, let me come off as much as I can on this on this 4 bar, 8 bar run. And I was like, oh shit, I'm getting out of breath. Like, let me run on this for as long as I can. And I'm like, damn, she got my ass. It doesn't even matter. She got my ass. Like, I'm very competitive with my features. Like,
Yeah,
if I bring a feature along, I have every intent on out rapping you. I have every intent on out rapping you, cool or not. Like, I don't care if we cool. I'm trying to sound better than you.
of
And
course.
if you sound better than me, then it is what it is. But I'm like, next feature will not be the case.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
do. I
but
do
shout out
feel
to
like
her.
I do feel like artists think it's a little embarrassing when they drop their own album and they have a feature, and then the feature's better than them. It's like, how are you outshining me on my own project? Well,
Like, yeah, like you gotta keep that. You gotta keep that. I never want to be one of those insecure artists that just, shelf a song because I got out rapped on. No, like if it happened, it happened. It's up to me to sharpen my pen up from there. But people are gonna hear you on the same breath. People are gonna hear you at your finest, and people are gonna possibly hear me at my finest. So it is what it is. So why deny listeners for something potentially great for my ego? Like, I have an ego. I'm aware of that much, but I can't allow it to be that fragile to where I'm denying myself and listeners something great. So
mhm. She picks it up real effortlessly. Like it was nothing. It flowed very well. When I listen to the song, I get kind of a '90s feel on it. Do you agree?
yeah, I've been told by multiple people.
Is that some of your inspiration right there, the '90s? And because that was pretty much, in my opinion, probably the golden era for New York, other than like the 2010s, like I mentioned before. But the '90s is really the golden era for New York. Do you like really grab onto that and try to do that with some of your songs?
Not intentionally, I'll be honest. Whenever I do my stuff, it's not. It's never with the intent of bringing New York back. It's never with the intent of bringing New York back in any sense, way, or form. I'm more of a forward person. It just so happens that that type of renaissance comes with me because again, I grew up through that era. I grew up through that era, and I try to get with the sounds now, but it just doesn't. And it's not to say that I can't. It's not to say that you're not likely to hear me on some of these forward sounds now. It just isn't me right now. Like I can't get with the shits. Like I don't like the idea of coming on there with a Migos flow or a Future flow. That doesn't sound like me at the moment. Like if I do come up there, it's gonna be something on my turn or something that I want to say. Not going with the crowd just to go with the crowd and get the sake of other people listening to me. Like I'm not jumping on trends to get people to accept me. Like if I do anything, it's gonna be on my terms. You know what I'm saying? So when I listen to something, if it just so happens to be 90s or early 2000s reminiscent, then it is what it is. Like I don't go in there with the intentions of it. It just so happens to be that way because I'm me.
Do you ever dream, like you ever think to yourself, like, damn, I wish I was a rapper during the 90s. I would just fit right in, like the missing puzzle piece. I would have been, I probably would have been on top. I would have been selling mixtapes on the corner. Like that's the dream. Do you ever think about that?
Uh, Once or twice, but then you got to remember the 90s and early 2000s was super competitive. Like we don't have that. They didn't have the access that we do now. Like for you to get on, you had to for you to get on, it was crazy competitive in the 90s. For you to get on, you would have definitely had to add a record deal or really that was the time for you to either get a record deal or really be independent. And both of those were equally tough. Like you literally would have to like jump through hoops or battle 50 niggas in each and every borough and all that other shit just to get somebody's ear. So as much as like it may have crossed my ear once or twice, but it's like if it was meant to happen during that time, then it would have happened. So for me to get my own shit going on with just through the phone, it's more the level field is in my favor somewhat.
Mm.
Not somewhat. The level field is in my favor. It's in anyone's favor. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that.
Just one more question about that era, because I'm really fascinated by that you lived through that era and you're a rapper now. You talked about how you're really competitive. When someone sends you a feature, you're gonna try and outshine them. And I remember, it's that classic video of Biggie Smalls right in front of the corner store, rap battling, and that's kind of how you get your name in the community. You gotta battle other rappers. Do you think you would have really like defeated a lot of people because your competitive nature? Like right out front of like the corner store, out front of project building, whatever. You think you could have like really destroyed your competition,
Mm,
or battle rapping isn't
maybe,
you?
maybe not. Maybe not because I see what battle rapping like entails and what it takes. Like I've watched, Smack, the URLs, the caffeines, and all that other shit, and I see what it entails. And then and there, like I've done a few of them in my school, but that kind of, I mean, it could count, but it doesn't really count. For you to really get your name out there, you got to travel to like various places and really get your shit off. And I see what it entails, and it's like,
It's
uh,
exhausting.
yeah, you're supposed to, but it's like, is that really for me? Do I really want niggas in my face and talking about my mother and out in the fight and all that other shit? Like, I don't mind jumping in the cipher and getting my shit off. I'm more of those people. Like jumping in the cipher. I'm more like the most deaf Yasin days, jumping in the cipher and getting your shit off just to get your shit off and for people to hear you. Like I'm one of those people that would rather walk to like Union Square and jump in the cipher and go from there. Not for niggas to spit in my face and get within like 6 inches of me and shit.
Yeah.
But it's numerous ways. It's more than one way to get your name out here now compared to the 90s and early 2000s. Like it's up to you how you want to get your name out there and shit. Not just those, but for me, maybe not. I'm leaning towards maybe not. So
And you're right with the battle rapping. There's no social distancing. These guys really try to get in your face. They really try to break you. And I feel like a lot of these rappers, they're kind of sensitive. Like, say if you
yeah,
totally obliterate someone, you talk about their dog, their mom, whatever, and everyone is saying to the other guy, "Oh man, you got destroyed, blah blah." Guy probably going to pull out a gun. Guy probably want to fight. Guy probably going to get one of his goons on you. I feel like, you know, the competitiveness is only it's so much. The bar is only so high when it comes to it.
Yeah, like I'm not really for that. Like if people been around me or people even listen to me talk, they know like my energy be kind of on. I try to keep my energy on chill. So to
Yeah.
be in that type of atmosphere, it's. But I like watching. But I like watching it because, like I said, it inspires me to like sharpen my skill a little bit better, and it inspires me to sharpen my skill a little bit better and to like go harder. So I
Yeah.
enjoy and like consuming that. So
Yeah, and you're right. From listening to your music, you know, I bet you are a chill type of guy because you make chill music. And I like to watch battle rapping too. I think battle rapping is like boxing, but with words. That's how I look at it, honestly.
that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, moving back to OnlyFans, I think everyone wants to know how much money have you spent on it so far? Do you have a ballpark idea of how much have you spent?
Uh, I think the highest I spent in one day was $100 because there was just so many to this. In the beginning, it was high. Like the highest it was is like $100. Now that shit is getting real, it's kind of at a low point. Not low point, not low, super low point, but like you know, but a reasonable amount. So
Do you
yeah.
think do you think OnlyFans should contact you and be like, you know what, we really like that you're pushing our product, that you're dedicated to this, you've been consistent. You know, we'll throw a bone at you. We'll give you, you know, we'll try to help you out. Do you think they should do that or no, you're in your own lane?
If they would want to do that, that would be cool, but I'm not expecting it from them. Like shit, there's a couple people on there that fucking hate me right now.
Really? Why is
Few
that?
because one of them from what one of them said, I'm fucking up the money for a lot of them. But I always said like I'm not fucking up anything. If anything, your content, your lack of creativity, that's what's fucking it up for you. I'm not fucking it up for nobody. I'm just bringing awareness of it because you have to understand before OnlyFans review was even considered a thing, you would take it was like a gamble just subscribing to these girls OnlyFans. Whether like and you're not knowing what you're gonna get. Are you gonna get your money's worth or are you gonna get a crapshoot? Are you gonna crap out? And so you were taking the gamble just subscribing to these girls' OnlyFans because their only type of promo you were getting was from their Instagram or Twitter. So, and these guys would subscribe on there, and some of them were worth the money, the others were getting ripped off, and these girls were not giving a shit. And it's like, oh, well, I got my bread, sucks for you. But now that there's somebody taking the risk going on there and telling you, oh yeah, this person's worth it, this person's not. They're not liking it, especially when it's reaching a wider audience. They don't care if they don't care if I reach to people like you and the person next door. But when it reaches a person like I don't know Meek Mill, Tiger, or fucking Ovane or whoever, then they care because it's larger eyes seeing it, and it's really fucking up the money, fucking up their money. It's taken away from their subscribers. So yeah, they have a reason to be pissed off, but I have more of a reason not to fucking care, and even more reason to do it because as long as OnlyFans is a thing, I'm feeling like yo, you should at least put your money where it's worth it at, and there's nothing wrong with consuming and purchasing adult content. That's been around since the fucking porn cinema days in
Yeah.
42nd Street. It's been around and it's gonna keep being around. Like from porn cinemas to VHS tapes to DVDs to fucking digital. Now it's gonna be here. So there's nothing wrong with consuming. It's just don't jip your customers. What I and people miscon and people have this common misconception that I'm judging women. not judging women.
You're judging the
If they,
content.
yeah, exactly. I'm judging three things: content, pricing, and fan interaction. If you master all these three things, you're good to go. It's only a matter of time. But if you're fucking up in one of these three things or all three things, I'm gonna let it be known. Like, I'm not gonna coddle anybody. Like, if you need to step your shit up, step your shit up. And it's not like I can't follow, it's not like people can't follow up with me. It's just pride and ego. People want to be coddled. Like, can't you say my shit? No, it's boring. It's trash. It's all that shit. But if it's good, I'm gonna let people know. And not everyone, not all of them can take criticism, and you can tell because they're used to being coddled by thirst balls in the fucking comment section that tell them they're beautiful every fucking 4 hours.
I like that. Wait, thirst balls. Is that a New York thing or you?
Nah, because true story. When I did Portia J on my for my OnlyFans review,
Uh-huh.
these dudes came up in my comments immediately. Yo, but Portia's beautiful though. Yo, Portia. I'm aware she's beautiful, my nigga.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with the fact that her content is boring. It is boring. Being beautiful, like, and that's the thing. They think being pretty should take them a long way. No, like, if I'm not getting nothing from your content other than you being beautiful, I'm just gonna X that out. Like, yo, while boring, or your clips are short, or you're not really doing nothing that's being worth talked about. Like, no, you boring. Nobody's saying nothing about you being ugly, but the way that I'm critiquing it, it's apparent. Like, I might as well call them ugly. The way they taking down critiquing it. So
Do you
it
only
is what.
review, do you only review black women?
You noticed?
Yeah. Is that on purpose?
Yeah, majority. Like, I'll review white women, but I want to review as much as black women as possible. Like, there, like, nothing, like, no disrespect, like, no disrespect to the white women. It's just I feel more comfortable reviewing the black men. I've I've gotten, like, I get people telling me, like, I want, like, can you review such and such and such, and some of them be approaching me with the white women, because when I click on it, I'm like, this is what you want me to review? I mean, okay, but I'll get to it on my own time. Like, I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush to review her. Like, I want to see what more of them are about. But I'm not judging people with the. That's a lot. I'm kind of judging them a bit. But yeah, I want to review as much black women as possible. Like, I'll get to there's a few white women I've gotten to that are cool. That are cool so far. I haven't came with. I take that back. Let me say, I haven't came across the weird. No, I have two of them. Two of them I blocked. But
Why
I
did you
want to.
block them?
Nah, because there's another thing. I'm not giving my money or even reviewing, you know, content creators that are going to be disrespecting black men, whether it's white women or black men, or making light of serious situations. Like, the minute I see you doing that, you're not getting my money, you're not getting my attention. That's all there is to it. Like, and I go as far as to let them know, I'll go as far as to let other people know that on my social media platforms. Like, yo, this girl was like, I'll give you one example. One of them was a porn star. Portia, her name was Portia Carrera. And she had this content of when her and this dude was like, she was sucking this dude's dick during a Black Lives Matter protest. And homie had signed and everything. I saw that. I saw her trying to promo that shit. As soon as I saw that, I just screenshot this shit and then blocked her and let people know, like, yo, I was really considering, because I really was considering reviewing her. But as soon as I saw that shit, I'm like, you know what? I'm good off her. Like,
Yeah.
she ain't getting no type of money from me. If
Yeah.
that's the type of time you want, that's tasteless. That's tasteless.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with that. If that's the type of time you want, I'm good. I'm good off you too. What you're not gonna do is disrespect the clientele you're trying to get money from. That's who you're gonna really get it. Black men and a mixture of white folks, but mainly black men. So yeah.
Let me ask you a couple more questions before we close. I think it's so funny that you're doing this. Not funny as in like comical. I just
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of guys would feel embarrassed if they even admit that they brought one OnlyFans review. When you recorded, like after you were done recording your first video, were you hesitant of releasing it? Like, would you think like, okay, I don't know if I'm gonna get clowned. I don't know how these people are gonna feel. Were you hesitating? Like, I know, forget it. This is my content. This is something I want to do.
Nah, the idea was seeded, and it only took a couple. I sat on it for like a couple minutes. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. Let me just do it. Like, it was always the chance that I was gonna get clowned, and I'm still getting clowned for it to this day. It's just I'm at the point where I don't care. You need me. You need me, whether you want to publicly admit it or not. You need me. You like niggas that don't want to acknowledge it need me more because I'm the embodiment. Like, and I don't want to sound arrogant when I say it, but I'm the embodiment. I'm the embodiment of the confidence that you wish you had currently. Because not too many of them. Like, there's too many of them that say, "Oh, you should be buying porn. Porn is free." I'm like, where'd you get that idea from? Because even if you watch Pornhub, the entertainers are still getting paid off that. I don't know if you know that. The entertainers still get paid off that. They sell the clips on there too. So so I don't know. Like, men want to slut shame women for doing it, and men want to shame other men for doing it. So it's like, why do you care? Unless it's something that's, and 10 times out of 10 it's something that has to do with them. They just feel better if they tear somebody down for their shred of self-esteem that they can get. But I'm the embodiment of that. I'm the one person that jumped out there and said, I consume it. Here's what I think you should consume too, or what to avoid. Because again, I want y'all to avoid these pitfalls. I know y'all tired of burning money for something that may not be even worth it. Here's a clear path. And I don't mind jumping out there because I consume it. Who am I to judge something that I consume? It doesn't make sense. Like, believe it, like I said on my social media before, y'all judging the sex workers that you need. Yes, you need sex workers. You need them. These women that's participating in these OnlyFans, they are sex workers. You need them. Without them, y'all niggas would lose their fucking mind. Niggas would lose their mind. And going back to what I said before, porn was never free. Sex was never free, but that part is a totally different conversation. But yeah, sex was never free. Going back to the fucking porn cinemas, when somebody's daddy was paying fucking 75 cents for the peep show, whatever the fuck. To VHS tapes, the black box VHS tapes. I remember those days. To the fucking DVDs. To now. So it's like, why? I don't understand why sex is still a taboo thing. Like, it's like you're less of a man to support sex workers. No, you're not. If anything, it just shows that you're a confident one, a secure one at that. So who am I to knock their hustle? Who am I to knock the man down for consuming this? If anything, you're dope in my eyes. That just means you're brave enough to be yourself and not care what other people think. Other people that's trying to tear you down, that's their insecurity. That's their little whatevers. And the funny thing is, those are the same ones that's consuming Pornhub and the X videos and the Spank Bang. Cool, that's your thing. That's my thing. Why do you care what the fuck I'm doing? Why do you care that I'm spending my money? Like, you want money too, sis? It is what it is. People gonna knock me down, but the truth of the matter is they need me. I'm the embodiment of the confidence that they wish they had. So I'll be the courage until they gain it.
Yeah, and I will tell you this to piggyback what you said. People would hate you more if you have great confidence about yourself because they have low confidence of themselves. And like, listen, why does this guy really think we're trying to tear him down with all this negative feedback? And he's using that negative feedback to absorb the energy. He's absorbing it to make him stronger. Really quick, because we gotta close. Tell me the worst and best OnlyFans. Give me your review. Exclusive.
Um,
Give me your worst
um,
and best.
all right, the best. As far as the best ones, they're kind of tied. They're tied. I'll
Okay.
be honest. Um, it's between Young Yonsei and it's currently between Young Yonsei and Curvy Ballerina. Those are my two. Those are my two favorites right
Okay, let me
now.
write this down. Young.
Young Yonsei,
Uh-huh.
YOUNGYONCE, and Curvy Ballerina.
Okay. And who's the worst?
Um, the worst. Oh, that's easy. Chella's Way, and Portia J. That's it.
Why is that easy?
Oh no, because those are the immediate two that stand out. Like there's a bunch of them that's bad, but those two stand out to me because of the public backlash
Mm-hmm.
from them. Like the backlash from Portia J wasn't so much public as it was private. She's the one that had one of my videos taken down.
Mm.
And Chella's Way was more public because Chella's Way was more public because she for a while she like really dedicated her time to like even going as far as making public threats. I still remember those. I still have the screenshot for those. Oh, I know where you live. Oh, I know where your mama live. Both of y'all not saved. Nobody told y'all I never gave you public permission to review my content. I'm like, I don't need your permission to run your content. As long as it's content, I can freely review it however I wish. People do it with music every day.
Mm-hmm.
People do it with movies every day for free. People do like as long as the minute your content is out there for the public to consume, it's free to critique. I'm no different. I'm a rapper. I put out music. It's free for people to critique, to my liking or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if I'm going through it, you're gonna go through it too. And if you don't like it, either you change it or you quit. Fuck it. But yeah, those are the two that stand out. Definitely.
Well, Riley, I thank you so much for talking to me. I really appreciate it. Even though you got the crust in your eyes, I appreciate you talking to me. I still have a lot of questions. You know, we gotta do this another time if you don't mind. Follow Riley Written on Instagram at Riley Written. Go to Riley's YouTube page, Riley Written, for all OnlyFans review. And listen to Riley's song. It's really a great song. I swear, I'm not saying it. Riley's song OnlyFans featuring Gino Fire. Riley, thank you. Another quick question. Out of the Tiger shout out, the Meek Mill shout out, Academic sharing your video, World Star, what's your proudest moment? If it's one of them that that it's not that I named, please like give me your proudest moment.
Actually you just listed those. Um Going on Ratchet Media, World Star, it's Biscuit sharing it, Meek Mill sharing it, following me, Tiger sharing it, following me, Academic sharing it, even though he didn't tag me. A bunch of other people tagged me in that. Shout out to y'all for that. Even go as far as Drake saw it. That was the crazy shit. Drake saw it on Meek Mill shit. That was the crazy shit. Van Lathan, Hovain, a bunch of other people. that was the craziest shit. That was the craziest shit of all. That was probably that was that content itself boosted my following, boosted my numbers. Like everybody saw everything to that all the way to my discover my music through there. But I will say the most weirdest time was when it got to my mother somehow. She was pissed. She was. I remember her showing it to me. Like, oh, so that's what you're doing with your free time now? You looking at half naked? You looking at half naked women hoes now? I'm like,
oh my god. Yeah, you didn't say, listen, man, I'm a grown ass man. I can do whatever I want right now.
but she didn't like the fact that it was in the public that her son was looking at pornography, paid pornography at that.
Yeah. One more question before we officially close. If a guy comes up to you and he gives you like a couple $100, like, listen, I'm doing the OnlyFans. You don't have to look at my pictures. Here's $200. Just say like, I got girth or something. Just say that. Would you do it? Would you act like you're reviewing a guy's OnlyFans?
I keep telling niggas, nobody from the gay community has yet to like come up and do the shit that I'm doing. I'm like, I said that for a minute now. I want somebody from the gay community to do the OnlyFans review because I know there's niggas with OnlyFans. I know there's lesbians with OnlyFans. Why has nobody came up and do this shit yet? I put me in awkward ass positions because it's only a matter of time before a nigga actually comes up and does this. So it's gonna put me in a weird box, and I'm gonna have to do the shit that you just said, like $200.
Do you feel like you're gonna be the Batman of the OnlyFans community? Like you're the hero that does everybody, that you solve all the crimes in Gotham is just you?
Oh
my god! And all these girls who's blocking you are like Joker, pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
Like, hey, it's not my fault they can't take truth, but as far as being the Batman of the community, I'm like, yo, niggas gonna have to pay up bread for me to do this. Like real bread.
Riley, so great talking to you, man. Really appreciate it. You gotta do it another time. There's still a boatload of questions I need to ask you. Once again, follow Riley Written on Instagram at Riley Written. Go to Riley's YouTube page, Riley Written, for all his OnlyFans review. And please listen to Riley's song, OnlyFans featuring Gino 5. Not only listen to that song, but listen to his whole catalog. He has a great catalog. If you like the New York vibe, it's all for you. Riley, once again, I thank you so much.
Thank you. And to plug it real quick, that OnlyFans is the first single of my upcoming project called The 12. It's coming out October 12th, so keep an eye on it. Keep your ears on that.
Absolutely, we definitely will, and I can't wait to listen to it. Riley, thank you so much for talking to me.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate this. This was fun.
All right, cool. Stay up, bro.
This was fun.